image of a stereotypical bully. But at every anti-bullying assembly I've ever been to, they always ask some variation of the question to the audience, have you ever bullied someone before? And everyone raises their hands. So what's going on? What I think is happening more often than not these days is that a lot of the bullying going on is unintentional. For example, a kid might call his friend a mean nickname, and he doesn't do it to hurt his feelings, he just does it to be funny. And all the people watching that know their friends and just laugh and don't bother intervening. What are they going to do if they see intentional bullying happening because they can't tell the difference between blatant harassment and a mean joke? We don't really think about the things we say or do in front of other people, do we? I can personally vouch for this because at my high school, we share our hallways with middle schoolers. We often forget that they're there until we see them cursing to their teachers or getting into fights on the bus. We're in awe how cruel they are. We often forget they're there, and another thing we forget is how impressionable they are. Those words they say, they hear from the high schoolers. The way he just punched that kid, he saw it on that movie that his parents let him watch. So those high schoolers and those parents wouldn't be considered bullies, but they're unknowingly part of the problem by exposing them to that. So what people don't always understand is that the phrase, putting an end to bullying starts with you, does apply to them, because we're all part of the problem, but that doesn't mean we can't be part of the solution. So what is the solution to this epidemic that never seems to cease? It might seem like an impossible task to keep kids from straying down the wrong path, but just one simple thing we can do is to be more self-aware. Monitor the words we let slip out of our mouths. Think before we speak, is this about to be misconstrued? Will it honestly benefit anyone if I say this? I know, it sounds cheesy, but so many fights begin with just one wrong sentence that if we learn to hold our tongues, it could actually make a difference. And just another small thing we can do is to talk to the people around us. If somebody said something that offended you, let them know. Don't try to get into a fight with them. And something that's not hit upon enough, talk to all the young kids you know about what they see on TV. Let them know it's not real. They don't have to mirror their behavior off of those images. Those are just a few things we can do, but what if we come face to face with a situation of bullying right out of the after-school specials? Then we have to do more than be self-aware. We have to keep from being a bystander. Less than 20% of the people who witness bullying happening do anything about it, and I can say that I've been one of them. My excuse is the same that most bystanders give. What am I supposed to do when I see that? Am I supposed to tell an adult, risk being called a tattletale? Am I supposed to intervene and risk getting hurt myself? They seem like good excuses, and they remind me of the story of Kitty Genevieve's. To those who don't know it, it was an event that happened back in the 60s. A woman was walking home from work when she was attacked by a man with a knife and was stabbed multiple times. 38 people witnessed the event, and not one of them did anything about it. It's often seen as the decay of human kindness, and if you're sitting here thinking what a terrible event it was, how is it any different than what happens to kids in schools across the nation every day? All we have to do is say something to the person committing the act. It sounds terrifying, but if we don't speak up against the kid who takes lunch money, we'll end up witnessing the kid who takes lives. Also, if one person says something, it can open the door for others to join them, and we might find that we're not alone in putting an end to this thing we call bullying. So, back to that original phrase, putting an end to bullying starts with you. To say it, we must understand it. We must understand that bullying is the gateway that must be closed off before further harm can be done. We must understand that we are all part of the problem, but also part of the solution. And that solution is to show more restraint, to have more courage, to be more self-aware. We must understand that when we say, putting an end to bullying starts with you, we mean, putting an end to bullying starts with me. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, you can see why she won. Our judges picked